Welcome to today's practice. We'll go ahead and begin. Find a comfortable seated position. Allow your spine to be straight but relaxed. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. And then tuck the chin ever so slightly. Allow the eyes to close if it feels good for you. And we'll start by taking in a few deep inhales and exhales. So inhaling through the nose. And then exhaling through the nose or the mouth. Allowing the belly to expand on the inhale. And then letting the chest and belly fall away on the exhale. One more inhale. And exhale through the nose or the mouth. And if your eyes are closed, you can slowly open them. We'll begin by doing a few shoulder rolls. So lifting the shoulders up towards the ears and then back and down. And then going the other direction, lifting the shoulders up toward the ears, and then send the shoulders forward and down. And then come back to center, allow the hands to rest on the thighs. Take the right ear over to the right shoulder. And then from here, you may want to slowly and gently begin to tilt the chin up and down, forward and back, to find the place where you want to settle in for this next stretch. And then once you find a place that feels good to you, come into stillness. You also have the option to take the hands behind the back, clasping the hands together, and then bring the hands over to the right hip. Breathing deeply here. If your hands are clasped, slowly release them. Place your hands back on your thighs and come back to center. Take the left ear to the left shoulder. And then slowly and gently tilting the chin up and down, forward and back. Finding a place that feels good for you before you come into stillness. And then again, you still have the option to take the hands behind you, clasping the fingers, and then resting the hands on the left hip. Letting the shoulders fall away from the ears. Breathing deeply. Last inhale. Exhale, slowly release the hands back down to the thighs and bring the head back to center. From here, take the left leg out long and at a bit of an angle, keeping the right sole of the foot pulled in toward the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the left forearm down onto the ground in front of the left leg. Lift the right arm up and over for a side stretch. Trying to keep the top shoulder aimed toward the wall behind you instead of folding forward. Taking a few breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, slowly come back to center. Keeping the legs in the same position, aim the chest toward the left foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, begin to fold over the left leg. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Place the right hand next to the right hip. Place the left hand onto the right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. From here, we'll move into pigeon pose. So take your hands and place them to the outside of the right leg, about shoulder width apart. And then begin to kind of roll forward, keeping the left leg stretched out long behind you. And place the right knee behind the right wrist. And then the right foot is going to rest in between the left hand and the left hip. Slide the left leg down long behind you. If your right hip is not reaching the mat, you can place a block or a rolled up towel underneath that hip. So option to stay here, or you can go ahead and fold over the right leg. Taking a few breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, begin to press yourself back up. Roll over onto that right hip. Pull the left leg forward and find your seated position. And we'll do that all on the other side. So taking the right leg out long and to the side. Left sole of foot stays pulled in toward the right leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the right forearm down on the ground in front of the right leg. Lifting the left arm up and over, side stretch. Remembering to keep the top shoulder aiming toward the wall behind you. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Aim the chest toward the right foot. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold over the right leg. Breathing here. Last inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. Take the left hand, place it on the floor next to your left hip. Right hand to left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. We'll move into pigeon pose on the left side from here. So place the hands down on the mat on the outside of the left leg. And then begin to kind of roll over, sending the right leg out long behind you. Left knee behind the left wrist. And the left foot is in between the right hand and right hip. Send the right leg down the mat, long behind you. Again, if the left hip is not coming into contact with the mat, you can place a block or a rolled up towel underneath your hip. So you have the option to stay here, or you can go ahead and fold over the left leg. We'll take a few breaths here. Last inhale. And then exhale, press yourself back up. And from here, make your way into a tabletop position. So finding our tabletop, begin to walk your hands out in front of you, lowering down onto the ground, forearms to the ground, slightly forward of the shoulders. Pressing the forearms into the ground, lifting the chest, gaze is straight ahead. Shoulders are away from the ears. Breathing here in Sphinx pose. Option to spread the hands out a little bit further. Press the hands into the mat and lift the chest. Or you can stay in that Sphinx pose. It's up to you. Breathing wherever you are. Last inhale. Exhale, lower back down, stacking the hands on top of each other. Place the forehead on the hands and then rock the hips from side to side. Take the hands back underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back up into tabletop. So hands are underneath the shoulders and knees are underneath the hips. We'll move through some cat-cow. So inhale, lift the tailbone, chin and chest. Exhale, round the back, tucking the tailbone and chin and spreading the shoulder blades apart. Inhale to lift the tailbone, chin and chest. And then exhale to round the back, press the floor away from you, spread the shoulder blades apart. And do that a couple of more times with your breath. Last time in cow position. And then exhale, cat. Come back to your neutral tabletop position. From here, we'll thread the right hand underneath the left arm, placing the right shoulder down onto the ground, right ear down on the ground, left arm reaches forward. And then just give a subtle shift of the hips to the right. Take a few breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, place the left hand back towards the face, press into the mat, coming back into your tabletop, and we'll do that on the other side. So left hand threads underneath the right arm, place the left shoulder down onto the ground, right arm reaches forward, left ear is on the floor. Subtle shift of the hips to the left. Breathing here. Last inhale. Exhale, place the right hand back in front of the face, press into the floor, come back to tabletop, and then shift the hips back to find your seated position. Coming back to that easy seated pose from the beginning. Close the eyes if it feels good for you. And we'll end our practice today by just taking a few more deep breaths. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. In through the nose. And exhale, nose or mouth. Do that a couple more times on your own. And then one final deep inhale. And then exhale, let it go. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today. Bye.